followership is such a paradox because when I became a leader, I thought, finally, I get to lead. I'm going to practice leadership, all the hundreds of hours of learning and teaching about leadership. I finally get to do that. What I realized is that more than leadership, I had to practice followership. But nobody has ever taught me in my life that there's a relationship between followership and leadership. I haven't even learned the word followership until I started practicing it without knowing that I am doing it. So what do I mean by that? Followership, simply said, I'm trying to read it so I stay very close to the theory, is the capacity and willingness to follow a mission, a plan, a vision, a leader at the highest levels of dedication. So I think this is very, very important. At the highest levels of dedication. I remember this very specific case when I had a very, very strong divergent point of view with my boss at that point, and we just couldn't agree on something. And for those of you who know me, you know that I'm very, very hard to manage. And I don't really get intimidated by bosses, and I'm going to fight for my opinion. But in this case, rationally speaking, my argument didn't stand. So I had to take a step back and be like, all right, I guess we're going to go and do it your way. As I was leaving the office, I was thinking, I have a few choices here. One is to feel very frustrated about the fact that my perspective was lost, or that I lost this argument, and sort of be passive aggressive about it. Because my ego is also pretty big and I don't like losing it. It doesn't happen very often, right? But my boss was right in that case. So I was like, I can do that. I can be sort of following, pretending that I'm going to do it their way, which a lot of us do. Or I can try to get over my ego and be like, all right, I wasn't a big supporter of this from the beginning. The argument was voted, approved. What I can do is I can put my entire weight, my entire energy, my entire talent, all my capabilities behind this and make it happen. We have choices. We have options. When I was doing consulting in digital transformation, one of the reasons why I noticed that digital transformation fails is that people who sort of begrudgingly agree to do it because they think it's a trend, they think it's a must do, they think like this is what everybody else is doing it, but we actually don't really need it. Once they agree on something and they start doing it, instead of doing it, they actually start boycotting. You don't even realize that. You're like, I knew it's not going to happen. It's not going to work. Let me show you why. Followership is equal to leadership. I actually think about it almost like, if I can employ a concept from the Asian culture, it's almost like the yin to its yang. You cannot be a follower without being a leader. You cannot be a leader without being a follower. Leaders have to follow the vision of their company. They follow the vision of their board. They have to follow the needs of their stakeholders. A leadership without followership is dictatorship. You know, I lived in dictatorship. It's not a very popular concept. It might work really good in theory, but not in practice. It's leadership and followership together.